Hey everyone, it's Chantal Girardi here from Online Business Marketing, and today we're going to talk about mastering LinkedIn for your business in 2024. It's been a while since I did one of these. It might have been 22 was the last time. And of course, with things changing all the time, it's important for us to keep up to date with what is happening now, how the platforms work, and how best to utilize them in this day and age. LinkedIn, as we know, is a great networking platform, but it's also a crucial tool for business owners to be able to expand their reach, gain visibility, but also connect with other industry professionals and grow your brand and influence within that. So I'm going to go over today some of the strategies that you can use in order to leverage LinkedIn effectively for your business. Firstly, let's just understand a little bit of the benefits of LinkedIn. It was originally set up as a professional networking platform for you to be able to connect with industry peers, potential clients, and other thought leaders in your field. So it is very much about opportunity connecting and very much about that B2B connection. It's also about brand building as well. Like all platforms, it's important for you to establish yourself and your business as industry experts and thought leaders on LinkedIn. I have seen, and it has been a thing for some people when they market themselves on one platform, say, for example, Facebook, and they're selling B2C. When they get onto LinkedIn, they may decide to change their brand and their direction, and specifically from a B2B perspective, adapt a little bit to suit LinkedIn, which you can understand. So, for example, I'm just trying to think of an example. A printing company I know is going B2C, saying, oh, you can buy this and you can buy that and you can buy this. But on LinkedIn, they might, for example, say that we are the travel agents. We are the travel agent solution to getting your printing delivered. So that is not completely, it is a thing that you do. But of course, then when people are looking at you here and looking at you there can be a little bit of confusion, but I thought I'd just bring it to the table. So number 3 is lead generation. And obviously the whole purpose of all your platforms is to generate leads. It's not about creating content. It's not about engagement. It's not about visibility. You know how it drives me absolutely nuts when people say that that's what it is, because it is lead generation. It is sales conversion. That is the whole purpose of every single platform. It is the purpose of your content. It's the purpose of everything. So when you go out into LinkedIn, understanding and knowing who is on LinkedIn that you can get sales from is absolutely imperative, because that way you can identify and engage with those potential leads and clients by targeting them. And it is easier to do on LinkedIn because it is a little bit more defined on there about what industries people are on. So it's a lot easier to kind of search those demographics. Number 4 is recruitment. Obviously, it's also known as a job platform, but for many of us, that's not really relevant. So I won't talk too much about that, but it is around finding top talent for team members as well. Number 5 is obviously content distribution, and it's about sharing valuable content, as it should always be. Valuable content to showcase your expertise, drive engagement, and attract followers to your platform. It is more heavily tailored towards your personal profile on LinkedIn, although it is like other platforms where you've got your personal profile and then you've got your company page. But although you've got your company page, I do find that your personal profile is has a lot more engagement, a lot more opportunity, and a lot more businesses done through that. However, I do think as a professional business, you should also have your company page as well. And number 6, market research. It's really an awesome platform for you to gain insights into industry trends, competitors' activities, and customer preferences. So you always hear me talk about doing competitors analysis, just to see what your competitors are doing in the space and tracking buyers' personas. So that is a good place for you to be able to do that and see what other people are doing, not so that you can copy them, but so you can differentiate yourself in the marketplace. So here's some of the key statistics related to LinkedIn usage and business conversion, because many of you will know I'm very much into the edutainment platforms. I'm not into the entertainment platforms, but the edutainment platforms. And I like to be where the action's at. So for me, the action is at around their education and entertainment sharing, and it is around where people are on. So for example, Google's the #1 search engine. Number 2 is YouTube, which is also Google. Number 3 is Facebook. Number 4 is Instagram. Number 5 is LinkedIn. So it's important for you to know like where people are and understand how the platforms work. And when I go into this, you're going to go like, that makes sense. So LinkedIn's one of those platforms where you don't actually have to do as much as you would as some of the other platforms, and there are less people on there. But if you are strategic, you can get better results, and you'll hear that as I go through this. So firstly, very important to know that LinkedIn has over 760 million members worldwide, okay, with professionals from over 200 countries and territories. The platform's user base is predominantly composed of professionals and business executives with a strong presence in industries such as technology, finance, healthcare, and marketing. Let's talk about engagement. So LinkedIn users vary in how often they post and engage with content, but studies have shown that active users typically check their LinkedIn profiles once a day, with the average LinkedIn user checking it once a week. Okay, as opposed to Facebook, for example, where they check Facebook 8 times a day. It's just important to understand that. It's just so important to understand them. So the frequency of posting varies depending on individual preferences and objectives, with some users posting multiple times a week and others posting less frequently. Number 3, let's talk about statistics along profile views. LinkedIn users tend to view profiles regularly, especially when researching potential business partners, clients, or job candidates. Having a complete and engaging profile increases the likelihood of attracting profile views and engagement from other users. Therefore, just like all the other platforms, if you don't set it up properly, and if you're not effectively communicating what you do in your bios, in your description, in your banners, in your key descriptions, and in your experiences, if you're not doing all of that, then people are going to find it very difficult to find you. So having those key things put in is really important. And then when it comes to business conversions, LinkedIn is a powerful platform for business to business, for marketing and lead generation. And according to LinkedIn's internal data, over 80% of B2B leads are generated through social media come directly from LinkedIn. So, that's a statistic coming directly from LinkedIn. But yeah, just important to know, like, we know that LinkedIn is very much a B2B platform. So therefore, when we go on there, our strategy does have to directly be linked towards B2B. So this one's a really interesting statistic, and I put the Facebook statistics in there because I love Facebook, but I'm going to put this in as well, because a lot of people say that you cannot get clients from Facebook, B2B customers from Facebook, and I've proven them wrong so many times, just because there's so many more active users on the platform and there's so many more active people. So only 16, so 16, okay, 16, not 60, only 16% of LinkedIn users are active daily. And there's about 134.5 million users actively on LinkedIn each day. And there's over 48.5% are active monthly. So less than half of the users on LinkedIn are actually active. And as I said, only 16.2 are active daily. Now, if I share the Facebook stats, you can see how much different it is. So you've got on LinkedIn, you've got 760 million members worldwide. On Facebook, you've got I'm just rounded up, 3.1 billion users, okay, that visit Facebook every day. So you've got 760 million members, only 16.2% are active daily. But on Facebook, you've got 3 billion users that visit Facebook every day. Okay, 68.6% of Facebook users spend some amount of time daily on the platform. So the average person checks Facebook 8 times a day. And I would say it's probably more than that now. So it's really important that when you look at the statistics, there's Lucinda, cool. It's important to note that when you look at the statistics, it just highlights the importance of using LinkedIn for B2B, also have to understand, though, how many people are on there, how many users are on there, and you can see how much it's going to be a longer, slower game. And already we know that B2B is a longer, slower game, right? All right, so how does LinkedIn work? Well, LinkedIn operates as a professional networking platform where you create your profile, your personal profile, and then you also create your professional profile as well, your page. And in there, you can showcase your professional experience, your skills, and your accomplishments. As I mentioned earlier, if you don't set those things up, you're going to be least likely to be found online. So it helps helps facilitate the connection between professionals and enabling them to network, share content, and engage with others. The platform also offers features such as groups, messaging, job postings, and content publishing to enhance user interaction and collaboration. So how do we use LinkedIn effectively? And I've got 8 ways for you. So number 1 is optimize your profile. You know, I always say the number 1 thing is have your strategy and get on there and go and make sure that you set it up properly so that it effectively communicates what you do. You do that by having a professional photo, a concise headline, and a detailed summary highlighting your expertise and achievements. Now, we know that with Facebook, because it is more of a social platform and it is more B2C, you can get away with being a little bit more social, a little bit more conversational, whereas in LinkedIn, you can actually just say it as it is. I'm an expert in this. You don't have to fluff it up. You can literally, what do they call it? Poppy syndrome, blah, blah, blah. Just show note yourself. It's absolutely okay to do on LinkedIn. It's expected. Whereas in Facebook, it's less likely. Number 2 is about building your network. So making sure that you're connecting with relevant professionals in your industry, including clients, partners, and industry influencers. So it is very much about opportunities and connections and collaborations, which means you have to have your B2B strategy and know who those people are so that you can go out and build your network of those people. Now, I have heard by other coaches, I don't know if it's wrong or right, but many have said go and follow other industry leaders in your industry. And I have I'm in 2 minds about you doing that, because you're basically building your platform with your competitors. So I just don't know how I 100% feel about that. I would more likely like to align myself with your referral partners or other people that you have previously worked with or aligned with or collaborated with. That to me just seems like a more sensible way to do things. Number 3 is around creating content consistently, which means sharing insightful, relevant content. So your content plan that I always talk about, the 21 content ideas, that works well on that platform. But it's also important to participate in relevant groups to build relationships and establish credibility. So if there are other groups, LinkedIn groups that have your ideal clients or your referral partner, depending on the rules for that group, you can go in and you can contribute in conversations and bring attention to yourself. So again, I wouldn't go into my competitors' groups to do that because that's just a no-go, but going into your referral partnerships or your target audience. So for example, if your target audience is, I don't know, 7-figure business owners, go and search for 7-figure business owner groups. And if the rules allow it, you can go in there and add your 2 cents. So if they come up, for example, with a leadership question, you can go in, you can add some advice and then say, DM me for more information. Okay, so you can schedule your content a month in advance in LinkedIn as well. You just can't edit the posts if you do that. And the best time to post on LinkedIn is between 10 and 12, so 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. midweek. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And posting on weekends, they don't even recommend. So that strategy would work well for many. Number 4 is engaging. So really important that when you do schedule your post, say you schedule your post for 10 o'clock on a Tuesday, it is important that between 10 and 12, you keep checking in to respond to any comments, because the comments are like a rash and will spread in that 2-hour window period. So if you're posting at 10, look at it between 10 and 12, because if anybody comments in that period and you reply, that's how it goes in that 2-hour window period. And if you put a link in your post, it suppresses your reach. And the average recommended time to post is 3 to 5 times per week, with 3 being perfectly okay. as opposed to, say, for example, Facebook, where really twice a day is okay. So some people, the LinkedIn strategy could work, but just remember it's B2B focused anyway. So number 5 is personalize your outreach. So although you can use AI to come up with responses, it is important that you personalize your response, meaning that if somebody messages you or somebody comments or says something, it takes 2 seconds to do a stalk. And if they have set up their profiles correctly, you should be able to go in and you should be able to go in quite easily and have a look in 2 seconds and go, this is what they do. And even though you've got your copy paste or AI responses, you go in, if you do this, this is how I can help you. So specifically talk to them when you pitch. Really, really important that you personalize those comments. So it's recommended that you get about 20 profiles of your clients and referral partners or potential clients, and then you comment on their posts weekly as well. So not just commenting on their comments to their comments on your posts, not only replying to their DMs, but also going in onto their comments and replying to any of their posts as well. So that would be touch points. Remember how we said it's a longer game and you need a lot of touch points in order to stay forefront of mind? If they get a DM from you, if you reply to their comment on your post, and then you go and you comment on one of their posts as well on a regular basis, you're now forefront of mind. So number 6 is about going through your daily messages, daily. So having a look at your messages and then using AI responses to, again, respond to them. But again, always put the HI into the AI, meaning put the human intelligence into the AI. And then I'm going to say put the S into it because that's the strategy. What is the strategy? I went to a presentation on Friday last week. And they were talking about sales and communication and getting people across the line. And they were talking about how they don't get qualified leads. And I said to them, because it's the quality of their pitches, it's the quality of their responses. Today, I called Daryl out where he said, like, it's the best lube. And I was like, can we just specify it's a lube for rust protection? Because it is what it is, right? It's imperative that you respond. So, that you respond accordingly. So you now get qualified leads and you don't get people that are looking for lube for their sex toys versus lube for their jet ski. It's very important. So making sure that you personalize those messages so that, 2-second stalk certainly does help. So number 7 is looking out for mentions and notifications. So in the notifications, you got that little bell. So going into the notifications every day and having a look at who's mentioned you, because if they've mentioned you, they've tagged you, and it's rude of you not to respond. Okay. And number 8 is always monitor your analytics. So always looking at your analytics. I do this on a weekly basis for all my platforms. Which content did well? What time did I post? What type of content does well? What type of comments am I getting? Is it fulfilling the strategy? Is my demographic right? Just making sure that what I'm doing is right, because else I'm just a hamster on a wheel going around in circles. And if it's not working, it's not working. You can't wake up to every single day, do the same old thing, expecting a different result. Okay, so important considerations when setting up your LinkedIn profile. So again, it's really thinking about who your target audience is and making sure that that profile is tailored towards it and that your content resonates towards their interests. Making sure that your branding is consistent, so making sure that your profile aligns with your brand identity and your messaging across the channel. So when we talk about branding, it is always about your colors and your fonts and your key mission statements, but it is certainly about your glitter, the words that you are saying on an ongoing basis so you become memorable like McDonald's. SEO optimization. So just like with every single platform, the algorithm reads your words. That is how it determines what content it's going to put in front of you and what content it's going to draw people to your content. So therefore, making sure you're using relevant keywords in your profile to improve visibility in your LinkedIn searches and attract your target audience. And of course, LinkedIn is a hashtag-based platform as well. The hashtags are very much different to hashtags on Instagram. In Instagram, you have, hashtag ain't got no time for that. you've got some of those colloquial, social, more long form terms, whereas with LinkedIn, it is what it is. The hashtags are lead generation, it is team leadership, corporate culture. It is what it is. Pest control. It is what it is. So there's no need to get, creative with it. It is what it is. That's how you end up in the hashtag search bars, and you only need three hashtags. That's all you need. And then with your privacy settings, it is important for you to, on an ongoing basis, to go and review those privacy settings, because what happens is, just like all the other platforms, suddenly they run an update and suddenly whatever you had set up previously has now changed. Suddenly, what you thought people could see, they now suddenly can't see. So on an ongoing basis, it's important to you to go find those settings, find your privacy settings, and go through and check that they are still relevant, that the right people can still find you and see your content. I was on a business coach's profile probably 2 weeks ago and had a look, and honestly, it had it closed off that only friends and their followers could contact them. And I was like, but don't you want to be contacted by international influencers to be on speaking gigs or podcasts? And they're like, yes. And I said, well, what if they're not on your followers lists? So, oh my gosh, didn't realize that. Well, then, open up your platform. So make sure that you understand your privacy settings so that the right people have access to you and can contact you. So best practices for utilizing your LinkedIn for marketing is, number one, obviously your content strategy. Your content strategy needs to align with your business goals and your audience's preferences. And you need to regularly share valuable content that is interesting for them and has those SEO keywords in there so that the algorithm can help connect you. Number two is engagement tactics. So encourage engagement with your content by asking questions, sparking discussions, and responding promptly to comments and messages. So as I said, that 2-hour window period is really important. Number three is networking. For networking, attend and participate in LinkedIn events such as webinars, workshops, and networking sessions to expand your reach and connect with industry professionals. So really important, running events and running webinars and that through LinkedIn can be a really beneficial tool as well. Obviously, that's a whole new strategy. I think there is content on how to run a webinar funnel in the free resources section on my blog, on my website, which is onlinebusinessmarketing.com.au. But yeah, making sure that you know how to use the events feature in there and the networking and can take advantage of the networking opportunities. And then again, cannot say it enough, number 4 is make sure that you're continually monitoring the performance of your LinkedIn marketing analytics and you're refining your strategy based on the insights to maximize results. Recently, I went onto an Instagram profile of a influencer who deals with women only, and on LinkedIn they were like, Instagram is our best platform, it's rocking, but Facebook's not doing as well, but LinkedIn's like rocking it. And we went onto LinkedIn and we had a look, and it was all males between the ages of, I think, 25 and 30 years old. Why? Because she is hot as. And I said to her, we can try and gather how many clients you're actually getting from Instagram by looking, at the Linktree analytics and Google Analytics through to the website. But the reality is that ego metrics state that I have all these followers and people are following and they're viewing me. But when we look, it's males, younger males, and those aren't her ideal clients. When we went onto Facebook, the demographics were right. So really, really important. You're not going to be able to make those decisions. Like, she could go change her whole strategy right now, but she would have done it without those key drivers. Okay, so how do you use LinkedIn groups for your business? Well, it can help you to benefit your business by expanding your network and increasing your credibility within your industry. You can start by identifying the relevant groups, as I shared earlier, and an example, making sure that they have your target audience and that you can actively participate in conversations and share valuable insights, ask questions, and join in discussions. You want to authentically engage with the members and avoid overly promotional behavior when it comes to groups. And some of the groups, as I said, you have to follow the admin guidelines, and some of them will not allow you to direct message people, which means you can say please direct message me for any more information. So additionally, participating in groups allows you to stay updated in industry trends and gain valuable insights and network with other like-minded professionals. Now, let's talk about paid LinkedIn Premium. So investing in LinkedIn Premium can help you provide with several benefits for business owners. You can gain access to advanced search features and expand your profile views and enhance messaging capabilities, allowing you to connect with targeted prospects more effectively. LinkedIn advertising also offers the opportunity to reach specific demographics, target the decision makers, and promote your products or services to a wider audience. I personally have not done premium LinkedIn. That is a beast in itself. And unless I had somebody managing that for me, I haven't gone down that road yet. We get enough through Facebook. Jess actually got through Facebook and through Facebook groups. And she was searching B2B in one of the groups and found me. So Facebook is working for me. So it's kind of like, I always say spend 80% of your time on the income producing platforms and 20% on the others. But I would need another key person to be able to manage that on its own. So you've got to decide whether or not you're going to go down that road, because it is a hefty investment of 40 to 70 Australian dollars per month when it's billed annually. Which is obviously, it's okay if you're obviously generating leads and you're getting customers from it. Like I said, I'd need to obviously make sure that somebody could manage that on an ongoing basis. They often do have, I have heard about this, where suddenly they'll have like a half price LinkedIn special or something. So you can also keep your eyes open for something like that. So lastly, I just want to talk about appointment setting on LinkedIn, because it is definitely a key part of LinkedIn for marketing, and it is more acceptable. However, people also get really annoyed with the copy paste, non-personalized type of stuff. So you want to make sure that, spamming is kind of more accepted within LinkedIn, but people also then scroll through a lot faster to kind of sniff it out, which means you want to make sure that your appointment setting is scroll stoppable, and you want to make sure that it is more authentic and is more relevant. So when setting appointments on LinkedIn, it's very important that you approach the process with professionalism, with tact and respect for each other's time. You want to make sure that you research the individual first, making sure you understand their background, interests, and professional priorities. Even maybe refer to something that they maybe have been working on, an award they've just got or something like that. And just have been watching your content for a while. I really loved what you said about this. This is how I feel on the topic. You could also craft a personalized message, obviously using human intelligence in your strategy, that make sure that you highlight the mutual benefits. So sometimes people don't see the what's in it for them unless you spell it out for them. So on Facebook, that is treated more as rude, whereas on LinkedIn, it's more appreciated. So here are 3 potential ways that we could work together, and give them some ideas, and they look at it and go, oh my God, that's amazing. So I recently did this. I went out and I approached a few, and I said, here are ways that we can potentially work together. And I said, the one is you could speak on my podcast and I could speak on your podcast. My podcast has a community of business owners, and it's all around meaningful marketing. And I went and looked at theirs, and I said I could really add these topics to your podcast. I didn't go in and just say, hey, can I be on your podcast? I said, I can see us on each other's podcast, the mutual benefit. This is what my podcast is about. So I showed it what's in it for them. But then I said, I really like what you do, and this is how I could value your community. As opposed to just going, I want to be on your podcast. How can we make that happen? Okay. So very, very important that you don't rush that. And that's why I said I'd need a key person to be able to manage that. Suggest, times to chat. I always say, would you like to choose a time to chat? Just a quick 10-minute call so we could explore the opportunity. Is that something you'd be interested in doing? And then I've just got like a 15-minute link or something that they can just click on to do that. Be concise and direct in your communication. As I said, on LinkedIn, they expect that. So fluff is not appreciated. And then focus on the benefits of how it is for both people. Avoid overly promotional language. ensure that your message is courteous and respectful, and then follow up. Follow up is crucial because people see it, they forget about it. Some people only check LinkedIn once a week, which means they forget about it. They don't remember that they've got to get back to you. So go back and just say, I just wanted to, come back to you on that. Here's a link to my podcast, or here's a testimonial from my podcast, or here's the last episode that I did if you want to listen to it and see that if this is something you could provide your value to. And, then follow up again a week later and go, oh, I really enjoyed your last episode. Well done. It was on this. And show them that you were interested in what they were doing. It's going to take a spreadsheet or a CRM or something for you to do that, or even a project management system so you can follow up on those leads. Because who did I speak to recently? I spoke to someone recently and they said, oh my gosh, I was talking to these people. Jess, it might have been you in your appointment. And you said you were talking to these people at the beginning of the year, then you got really, really busy and they were interested and then you didn't follow up on them, and it happens to everyone. So it is important that you keep tabs on when did you contact those people and then set due dates to follow up on them as well. Else it gets really difficult to manage. All right, so as we draw near to the end of, leveraging LinkedIn effectively for your business, it certainly is a way for you to enhance your professional network, establish your brand presence, and drive business growth in 2024. It does need its own B2B strategy. And by following the tips and guides in this guide, you should be able to unlock the full potential of LinkedIn as a powerful marketing tool. So if you have enjoyed and are enjoying these VIP masterclasses, remember that in order to be part of the live audience and who now gets to ask their questions, and I now am able to go onto LinkedIn and actually show the behind the scenes, and we spend time doing that. In order to do that, you do need to be a client or a paying member, and you'll be able to find the link in the comments below.